Google's Nano Banana just changed AI filmmaking forever. This is the tool you've been searching for to take your projects to the next level. Imagine uploading a single image and spinning it into endless camera angles and scene variations, all with solid character and style consistency. That's what Nano Banana does. This is an absolute game changer for AI creators. And if you're not using it right now, you're already falling behind. I'm Jack. I've been a VFX artist in the advertising industry for over a decade now, and I've worked for many of the biggest brands on the planet. Today, I'm revealing how you can use Google's Nano Banana for completely free. How you can take a single starting image to build out an entire consistent scene. And then I'll even show you how you can animate these images for completely free as well. This is just mind-blowing. And of course, guys, if you do enjoy today's content, make sure to whack a like on there for me, consider subscribing, and of course, ring that bell notification icon. Let's get straight into it. So there are a lot of subscribed AI platforms right now trying to get your business to get you to pay to use their product and therefore access Nano Banana. You don't need to do this. You can do it for free. Now, I had some strange issues first accessing this, so I'd suggest you go up and open a incognito window, and then you just want to type in LMArena.ai. It's going to verify that you're a human and accept cookies, and straight away you are in. You want to go right up to the top here and select direct chat. You then want to go to the bottom and select generate images. And already it's put it on Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview, which is Nano Banana. And this has been confirmed within the official LMArena Discord. And just like that, you have free access to Nano Banana. No subscription, you don't have to go through a different website or anything complicated like that. Boom, you're in. Now, after a certain amount of generations, you're going to hit a wall and it's going to tell you that you can't generate any more until X amount of time later. And I feel like I'm going to get in a bit of trouble for this somewhere down the line, but if you just open a new incognito window, you can just keep going, like infinitely. I've tested this. I've been on Nano Banana for hours today. I've generated so many images and never hit a wall, and I haven't spent a penny. So let me just show you the power of this tool and how many creative opportunities it really does open up. I'm going to upload this image which I created with Midjourney, which is me standing next to an active volcano. And for starters, let's just try something like change the shot to nighttime. You see, we just have to agree to the terms here, and it's going to start generating our nighttime variation of this shot. Now, sometimes this can bug out. If it keeps hitting an error on the 3 to 4 second mark, there's probably something that Google doesn't like about your prompt. So just go in there and try to reword it. Try to change the format of your sentence. Just try to think what might be upsetting the image generator, and then just hit rerun. After a while, it's going to sort itself out and you'll get your image back. And here we have our nighttime variation of the volcano scene. Let's go ahead and get this downloaded by clicking this little icon here and just hitting save. And the consistency you get back from Nano Banana when you're asking it to make such a fundamental change to the shot, and it's still managing to keep the expression, the character looking consistent, even the clothing, is crazy. And of course, this opens up endless creative opportunities. That was just a fun kind of demo of how we can use Nano Banana, but let's talk about things in a more practical sense where we can take this opening shot and actually build a scene from it using Nano Banana. Now, I approach AI filmmaking in different stages, and I think all the best AI videos stem from a single great generated AI image. So what I think is going to be like the meta way to use Nano Banana is to take a single starting frame like our volcano one here and use Nano Banana to build out your scene by creating different camera angles for you and different actions, but still keeping the style, the lighting, the environment, and your character consistent. You can essentially flesh out a storyboard. You can go shot by shot and then take those still frames into an AI video generator to animate them. And like I say, stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to show you how you can animate your AI images for completely free as well. So I'm going to type in over the shoulder shot from behind the man. And you can imagine that we're starting to flesh out a short film essentially. Now, if you were trying to achieve this with Midjourney, you would probably struggle with character consistency, but look at that. That's just crazy to me. This feels like it is part of the same scene, it's part of the same world. Everything feels consistent. And if things feel inconsistent, it really does break that kind of immersion that you get when you're trying to watch a short film. And I think using Nano Banana in this way is going to get rid of that problem. So we have, for instance, our starting shot, then we could cut over to this shot here. Let's just drop the starting image back in again. And I want to say extreme close-up. Let's go actually extreme close-up on the man's glasses. We can see the active volcano reflected in their lenses. So actually you can see it has struggled here. This, I'm not even kidding, is the first time I've got back a semi-bad result from Nano Banana. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to copy this same prompt, drop it in here, and I want to specify the type of glasses I have. So let's say gold wireframe glasses, and we'll just drop in that same starting image again and run that. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think that's definitely usable. Again, you can always hit retry and we'll see what we get on a second run. Again, that's pretty cool. A little bit more variation in the reflection there. And I just want to test something out here because I haven't actually tried this before. Let's drop the starting image in and I want to say drone shot from above, looking down on the vast volcanic scene. I'm just going to type in as well at the end here, dramatic and cinematic, and we'll hit run on that. Okay, this is pretty cool, but we can't see us in the scene. What I will say, however, is it does look very consistent in terms of the environment, the lighting and the color palette. So this would definitely still work in the context of a short AI film. Let's just try again to be a little bit more specific. So looking down on the vast volcanic scene and the man kneeling next to the active volcano. Let's drop in our same starting image again and let's see if this works. So actually it's kind of failed on giving us that top-down perspective, but it's still giving us a really nice variation of the original shot itself. So I'm not mad at this, like you could still use it. It's kind of like a happy accident, right? I just want to try drop this shot in here now. So this is me in like a windbreaker stood with a water fountain behind me. It's kind of got a cool streetwear vibe. And I want to say something like wide establishing shot. The bearded man is dwarfed by the vast urban environment. You can imagine, for example, that we're putting together an advert for a streetwear brand. And again, actually, it struggled with this, so I want to rerun this. Kind of ironic that the first issues I've had with Nano Banana have been when I've hit record. Really strange how it's keeping my pose and position exactly the same, which it hasn't done on any of our other attempts with the volcano scene, and it's just sort of sticking us on top of this different environment. I want to go ahead and hit new chat just to test it out. It seems like it's been a bit strange and buggy. Let's see if we can get some better results in a new chat, a clean slate. So add back in our start frame. And let's just try something really simple. Drone shot from above, dramatic and cinematic. All right, so now we are starting to get somewhere. I look consistent, my outfit's consistent, the environment itself is consistent, but it successfully changed my pose. And yet everything tonally remains the same. Try a slight variation again. Let's just try drone shot from 100 feet in the sky looking down on the bearded man. Be a little bit more specific with the height and the distance between the camera and our subject. All right, so it's not 100 feet in the sky, but this is still a really great result. Again, the pose is really quite different from our starting frame, right? But this still really does look like me. Let's just pop in our starting frame again and just say the bearded man is leaning up against a graffitied wall, and just run that prompt and see what we get back here. Again, I'm kind of trying to imagine that we're building out a advert for a streetwear brand. So we want the environments to remain urban, but just have some variation in terms of camera angles and poses. And again, we have got back a really incredible result. It still looks like me and it's still the same outfit. Try something a little bit more out there now. Let's try the exact same start frame, but let's say the bearded man is sat on a lone wooden chair in the middle of a vast green forest. And we'll put on the end as well, dramatic cinematic, because that seemed to be working quite nicely for us. So, you know, maybe we're building out a lookbook for a brand, for example. All we really had to pay for was Midjourney to make our starting frame, and then we're just utilizing Nano Banana to build out our story. And again, this is a really incredible result. I just want to rerun this to see if we get a slight variation. Honestly, it is trial and error. You guys know how it is. If you're after something quite specific, you probably want to get a bit more wordy with your prompt. Really, these prompts are really short compared to what I would usually put in. Now, I don't love that result, so we'll retry again. Obviously, a little bit more of a stranger, surreal thing going on here. I'm wondering if it's the end bit, the dramatic and cinematic, that's throwing it off. This is pretty cool. I actually quite like that. I'm definitely feeling the cinematic vibe, and it does look like me. As a quick experiment, I want to chuck in that start frame again. I just want to take the dramatic and cinematic off the end there and see if we get a better result. Maybe for whatever reason that's throwing it off. And actually, yeah, I do think that is a better result. So maybe adding style references like that at the end causes some issues. And again, this is a pretty nice result. It still looks and feels like me, and it looks like I am really within that environment. It's not some like dodgy Photoshop comp. This feels lived in. Maybe we could have some fun with our video thumbnail here as well. Let's just pull that in. And we'll just try something like the man is holding a kitten instead of a banana. And just look at that. That is crazy. It's even thought to put a glowing effect on our kitten. This is completely seamless. I still look incredibly consistent to the starting image. The cat feels stylistically the same. Like there's no disconnect between this new element that we've just asked Nano Banana to put into our image. It feels like it was always there. And that's the real magical thing about this tool, I think. We'll bring it back into LMArena and we'll say, put the man and the cat into a cozy cat cafe environment. Okay, so we've actually hit our limit now. It's telling us we need to wait about an hour to start generating again. However, let me just close down the incognito window. I will make a new incognito window and head over to LMArena. It's going to verify again, accept cookies, go to the top, direct chat, hit generate images. It's going to put us straight onto Nano Banana again. I'm going to drop our image of me holding the glowing cat. Pretty sure that's the same prompt. Let's just hit run. We have to agree. And yeah, I think this hack works. Kind of feel bad for sharing this, but you know, you guys are my subscribers. I feel like we have to share the love, right? Cheeky little hack. Maybe it won't work forever. Maybe it will. And just look at that, man. Crazy. Let's just hit rerun again. You can really get some wild results from this. But I really want you guys to imagine fleshing out your plots in like a storyboard and then animating each of those images to build out a film. Again, another really great generation. The power of this tool, it kind of just blows my mind every single time we hit generate, to be honest. All right, so as promised, guys, if you do want to get your free AI image generations, you're going to have to go through Discord. I'm going to put a link for this Discord in the description if you want to click on that. And it is actually the LMArena Discord. You want to click in and go to one of these video arenas. And once you're inside, you want to hit slash and go image to video. I want to drop in our nighttime volcano scene here. And there's a little section where it allows you to put in a prompt. And let's go for something like shaky handheld device filming. The man kneels confidently next to the active volcano as it violently erupts. We go ahead and hit return, and it's going to give us a little message. We need to wait about 10 minutes to get our generation back. So the way that LMArena works, guys, is it's collating all of this data to try to prove which AI tools are the best, and that results in a leaderboard. And when it comes to this Discord, you're going to get 2 generations back using random video models. So it really is a lucky dip. You might get some good generations, you might get some really bad ones as well. But if you do join this community, I really do do encourage you guys to vote on which generation was better, because of course that's how LMArena collate their data and form the leaderboards. And actually that was really quite quick. So we've got back 2 generations here. Let's see if we've got lucky with the random models that it's assigned us. First generation here, this looks really, really great to me. And you'll notice at the end that you do get this kind of tag plugging the Discord. Like I always say, guys, you can pull this into an editor like CapCut or Premiere Pro and just cut off this last section. No one would ever know that you got this AI video for free. Let's look at the second generation. Don't like it as much. Some of the explosions in the background feel a bit fake to me, but this first generation actually came out really, really nicely. Feels very realistic. Love the lighting on my t-shirt, the way the fabric's moving, the way the volcano is moving and erupting. Pretty insane. And we've had 1 person vote, so if we say left is better, I believe it's going to reveal which video model was used. And actually C-Dance gave the best result, and Kling V2.1 gave the result we didn't like as much. So you can see, guys, that you really can go through, take a great starting image, pull that into LMArena and then access Nano Banana, flesh out your scene by creating any modifications you want or any different camera angles you can think of, and then pull each of those images into LMArena's Discord to animate them. Yes, it's a bit of a workaround. Yes, it's a little bit of a lucky dip and trial and error, but you haven't spent a penny. Of course, to access Midjourney, that is a paid subscription, but I really recommend you guys get involved with Midjourney. It's an incredible tool to get your head around. Out of all the AI tools I've used so far, Midjourney is definitely my personal favorite. And of course, you don't need to use AI generated frames as your starting point. You could take a still from a film or from a magazine shoot. Really, the sky's the limit. So just as a quick example of that, we have this Esquire front cover featuring Post Malone. I'm just going to save this image. I'll drop it into LMArena. And for starters, I'm just going to say remove the text on this image. We'll go ahead and hit return. And you can see it has done an incredible job at keeping the environment consistent whilst removing that text. So I'm going to download this shot to work from, drop that clean version of the shot into LMArena, and let's just try something like ultra wide establishing shot. The man is posing inside the car, which is in the middle of a huge field. And let's just hit return there and see what Nano Banana gives us back. And that to me is just absolutely wild and a really nice example to finish the video on. Guys, if you have enjoyed today's content, make sure to whack a like on there for me. Consider subscribing if you're new, and of course, ring that bell notification icon, because we are looking at these amazing AI tools all of the time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will catch you on the next video.